Macy Barber now in a relationship with Oscar Moisty Herrera. He's a flyweight with a record of 4-3. A lot of people were seen falling to their knees at Goodwill as a result of this news. Conor McGregor once again talking about that boxing match with Logan Paul in India. TKO group, UFC versus WWE. There's levels to this. A big sloppy novice is going to find out. TKO King title. Pay-per-view, I hold every record and I'm coming back to KO this novice and racking more numbers for the company. Hashtag stock market India. My highest pay packet yet. Thanks for the cheese. Pay-per-view wise, he's got like 8 of the top 10 pay-per-views, including the top 5 versus Khabib versus Poirier Part 3 versus Diaz Part 2, Poirier Part 2, and Cowboy Cerrone. There's some talk that Justin Gaethje and Dan Hooker are going to be fighting next. It kind of makes sense. They haven't fought each other before. Exciting fight. They're not too far apart in the rankings, number 3 and number 6. Will be a fun fight though. Gaethje has that relentless pressure, devastating leg kicks, and knockout power. Hooker's got that rangy kickboxing, sharp knees, durable chin. Gaethje will try and close the distance, try and land those big power shots. Hooker's going to try and pick him apart at range and use those knees to counter Gaethje's aggression. Ryan Spann is looking to restart his career in the heavyweight division on March 15th when he takes on Waldo Cortez Acosta. Marvin Vettori trying to get a fight. Who wants to fight an easy top 10 guy on his way to retirement? I'm okay with anyone, just my last few, so maybe I can call it. Vettori last fought against Cannonier, and he lost that fight, but somehow he's ahead of Cannonier in the rankings. Vettori 7, Cannonier's number 8. Corey Sandhagen siding with Umar Nurmagomedov because Murad's been talking a little bit of shit. I kind of want to watch him get served up a little bit. Murad is still saying that I was a gift and stuff for Umar, so I'm team Umar. I used to be nice to Murad, and that's why it hurt so much when he started talking so much shit. That fight is now less than a month away. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be close. It's going to be competitive. It could be a grueling grappling, wrestling clinch war, and it's going to go the distance. So when it goes the distance, it really could go any which way. BKFC coming to Dubai in 2025 in April, which is interesting. They haven't gone to that market yet. And it looks like they're doing 2 shows there, April 4th and April 5th. So interesting expansion for BKFC in Dubai. Octagon MMA champion Hatif Moel, who tried to throw his belt at his opponent but hit the promoter in the head, is no longer a champion in Octagon MMA and no longer on the roster. The promotion says our paths have parted ways. As of December 17th, he is no longer an Octagon MMA fighter and has been stripped of his championship belt. Before and during the Munich event, he repeatedly breached his contract, although we attempted to find a reasonable solution. He refused to engage in any meaningful compromise. We'd like to thank him for his past cooperation and wish him the best of luck in the future. Also like to acknowledge that his manager Ivan for his cooperative and fair approach. Fortunately, individuals close to Hatif, especially his coach Bob Beck, negatively influenced our collaboration and significantly contributed to the end of this partnership. That coach disagrees. Why you guys lie? Coaches only train athletes. This is not mine or other coaches' decision. What an athlete wants. You guys are not normal. Seriously. Some others on the roster are happy with the departure. Good, you can't have champions who behave like children. The fighter himself, Hatif Moel, says, "It was my decision not to fight in Octagon anymore. I made this decision last week. A champ of an organization who's undefeated with a 4-0 record deserves respect. I respect all my opponents who respect me. I respect Octagon. However, since the incident in Munich, they wanted to cut my fight purse by 50% or even 30%. They lost my respect. I was asked by the promoter to put on a show, which I did, but being punished for it afterwards is unacceptable. As I said, in the end, I decided not to fight for Octagon anymore. Nobody fired me. I resigned." Aaron Tao, who fought in the Contender Series this season, is now fighting a guy who's 10-8 on the 22nd of December, Ariel Oliveros at CFN 33. The guy Aaron Tao fought in the Contender Series, Elijah Smith, is a very highly touted prospect. He fights February 15th in his UFC debut against Vince Morales. A lot of people are very high on Elijah Smith's potential. Sergey Pavlovich training for his fight with Jairzinho Rozenstruik on February 1st in Riyadh. Adam Fugit versus Islam Dulatov, February 22nd in Seattle, Washington. Dulatov is coming off a win in the Contender Series and making his UFC debut. This is also another fight that's been added to the Seattle card. Should be a good one. Both these guys have shown that they fight like crazy people at time. Although Kutalaba's reined it in a little bit, Aslan has been a wild KO machine lately. Next UFC card, January 11th, confirmed some fights. Gaethje Zula versus Lopez. Johnson versus Bunes. And Marco Tulio versus Ihor Potieria. Tulio won a couple times on the Contender Series to get a UFC contract and makes his UFC debut in this fight. James Krause gets his third stripe black belt from Chris Brennan. No update was ever given on that whole betting scandal he was involved with. So I asked the FBI if they closed the investigation, can I see the file so I can give you guys an update as to what's going on, but they say they can't confirm or deny the existence of such files. They may still be investigating. Derek Minner apparently was also under investigation. The speculation was Minner went into that fight injured. Krause bet on him to lose. Minner bet on himself to lose. Krause, who sold picks to people, told all those people to bet on him to lose, causing a lot of weird last-minute movement on the betting lines, causing suspicion. Jeff Molina was apparently also under investigation. He was removed from the UFC roster. He was a pretty good fighter. He had 10 wins in a row and was 3-0 in the UFC. Elise Reed, talking about the mental game, says I fought with COVID once on fight day and pretended like it was just another fight day. She beat Jessica Penne in October. Penne got cut by the UFC after that. Penne was listed on the GFL roster, but is no longer listed there. Maybe at 41, she's a little too young. Kamaru Usman's promotion is doing a show on the 29th of this month in Lagos, Nigeria. There was talk of Usman fighting in February in Sydney at UFC 312. He's unsure whether he's going to do that or not. It depends on how his body feels. Charles Johnson thinks that Usman should fight Joaquin Buckley next year in St. Louis and also have Sean Woodson on that card versus Giga Chikadze, as well as him against Steve Erceg, and Michael Johnson versus Bobby Green.
I saw me eat mango yesterday. She started freaking out why I'm eating my mango like this. So, let's see. You know what? This mango situation actually brought back memories. I would say most of the friends I grew up with, a lot of us, this is how we survive. We jump into other people's houses and we steal their mango and we eat their mango.
Thanks for watching. Top 10 viewership on this channel. US, Canada, UK, Australia, Ireland, Germany, India, Netherlands, New Zealand, and Sweden. What am I missing? What country are you from and what city? Let me know in the comments. If you want to support the channel, you can via super thanks, donations, and channel memberships.